full moon in Aries at 14 degrees. This event is going to happen on October 7th, 2025. Hi, I'm Gisel Guerrero, and today I'm going to talk about this full moon, its energy, and how we could expect the manifestations or where you could use this energy on your favor. So, for starting, we need to understand the energy. We are talking about the first sign of zodiac and is associated with themes like the beginning of things, the process of individualization, when you become aware of you as a independent being. It is the energy that impulses to act, to do, to defend, to offend, is the sign that is represented by Mars. And the Mars function is to act, to open paths, to attack when it's needed, and to defend us when we are being attacked by others. So this is a very important energy that reminds us that we have the ability to protect ourselves, to reaffirm ourselves, and to do things in life and in the world. And this is the full moon of the Libra month. And this is important because when we are talking about full moon, we are talking about an axis. The moon is transiting Aries, so we need the sun to be in the opposite sign, which is Libra. And we are talking about balance. We are in the moment of the year when we need to recover the balance we lost the last months. And now we are seeing through the news and through the different situations in all over the world, a lot of conflict, a lot of competitiveness, a lot of events that reminds that we are being very individualistic right now. So we need to learn again how to cooperate with each other, which is the Libra part of this season. So when we talk about this full moon, we need to understand that we are in a moment of revisiting or reviewing our relations. We may see something happening, something important happening in a relationship that has been um, putting some stress on you, and think in all kind of relationships, not only romantic ones. Think about the relationship you have with a coworker, the relationship you have with your neighbor or with a sibling, or maybe the relationship you have with your kids, or even with your body and with your self perception, the relationship you have with your resources. Depending on the part of your chart this full moon is activating your life, you are going to see something, because the moment we have a full moon, we have an awareness of this situation that has been building in the last 18 months. I work with the moon phases, so we are going to track this cycle from the beginning, which was on April 8th, 2024. This started with a new moon in Aries at 19 degrees, and it was a very important new moon because it was a total solar eclipse. We are going to see the charts of these two events. We are going to see the new moon back then and the full moon right now in October, so we can understand what is the underlying theme of this disbalance or this conflict in an important relationship for you. So when we talk about Aries, we talk about individualism, and we are thinking about what we need, where we want, and how to get it. And the thing about this full moon is that we are going to feel like we were wounded or attacked or mistreated in some way. And now we are entitled to do the same to others, specifically if you have a lot of Aries energy on your chart. This full moon has different possibilities. For some people, this energy could be used in a constructive way, and for other people, could be used in a destructive way. For those who feel like life punched them in the face, those are the kind of people who are going to use that experience to excuse the way they mistreat others. And for people who see this challenging event of life like something that made them reflect or rebuild themselves, this is a moment where they have a strong will to overcome any challenges they had before. This is a moment they can use to see life like an adventure, and even feeling like proud for overcoming all of those difficult moments of life. So let's start with the chart of this full moon in Aries. I'm going to share my screen. So this is the full moon in Aries at 14 degrees. We are watching here the moon and the sun. And observe, we have Chiron retrograde here at 25 degrees of Aries. This asteroid is very important because when this cycle began, we had Chiron eclipse too. So this is something that is connected to a deep pain. Something happened that made you feel attacked or weak for something. It could have been an illness, an injury, an accident, or something more like you have to leave behind something that was very connected to your identity. Think about reinventing yourself. Think about maybe losing your job and having to start over in some other new company, or maybe starting a new business, but leaving behind something that you thought was a integral part an integral part of yourself. So that made you feel uh, weak, vulnerable, and in pain. And the thing about the Aries energy is when when people with a lot of Aries energy feel in pain, they don't ask for help. They don't say, I need your help in this. I need you to hear me." They don't ask for what they need because they are used to getting what they want by acting. So their reaction to pain is anger, because anger invigorate us, because anger makes us feel like we still have control over the situation. So the reaction to this pain might have been screaming or yelling or being really, really angry with yourself or with life or with others. And that kind of behavior, sustained for a long time, for all these 18 months, may have eroded your principal relationships. Maybe your relationship with your partner, or maybe your relationship with somebody close to you that was involved in the whole situation. For others, this could have meant something about recovering from an illness, an injury, and this balance we are trying to recover is like where you right now are fully recovered, or you have the strong will to recover for this situation, and now you are ready to distribute the charges in a better way with the other people or the other person that has been helping you, or supporting you, or even professionals that work this path with you. And with this full moon, we have Mars, the ruler of Aries, the dispositor of this full moon, transiting Scorpio. This is very important because this Mars here has the resources to overcome any challenge. This is a very strong will Mars, is a patient one, is a methodical one, is the kind of energy we want to endure, to get better with time and practice. This is a very strategical Mars. So in a constructive way of using this energy, this Mars gives you the ability to rebuild a new path for yourself, or to reconstruct your health, your strength, your endurance. This is a very, very powerful Mars that is coming from a very strong square with Pluto. This is a strong will, and trying to recover your power in general. So this is in a positive way. This is the kind of energy we all want to start over, or to overcome a time that was difficult for any one of us. And we also have Mercury and Lilith in Scorpio. Mercury is applying to a square with Pluto in Aquarius, and this is important because this is about challenging conversations when we want to reach the truth. And in relationships, remember, this is about relationships. In relationships where people were not being honest, this square with Mercury and Pluto could affect trust. This could be the moment that you discover a hard reality. And for others, this Mercury squaring Pluto is a moment that people decided to investigate or to go deep into something that helped them to rebuild themselves, or to overcome the difficult situation that started 18 months ago with the total eclipse, total solar eclipse in Aries. And Lilith here is also very important, very potent, very powerful. It helps you to connect with your survival instinct. But be aware of something. We have a lot of Scorpio energy here, and for a lot of people that has no good intentions, this energy could be used to harm others. It's like what I was telling you a few minutes ago, the people that felt harm in some way and now feel entitled to harm others. And this is the kind of energy we are observing in the global situations we are having, in global conflicts we are having right now. In other things that are happening here that are important is the Venus position in Virgo. Venus rules Libra, so we need her to find something, some tool, something that makes us reconnect again, something that makes us, or something that help us to find a point of a middle point between these two tense energies. And this Venus is not in the best position. She just conjunct the South Node. She's in Virgo, so she's not very powerful here. So we don't have a lot of um reconciling energy right now. This is not going to be forever, but right now with the full moon, the environment is going to be a little conflictive and a little competitive, because this Venus is working with evidence. This Venus is working with practical information. It's not going to think, oh, I'm going to forgive you because we were in love, or I'm going to forgive you because I remember that you promised me something better. This Venus is here saying and thinking, I can't forgive you because I now have the evidence that you did this. This is a very practical Venus. So her connection comes uh from the material world. She needs evidence. She needs proofs that something can improve or something can be better. And now she doesn't have any good proofs. This is going to change. She's about to enter her sign, Libra. This is going to happen in a few days. So when she enters this sign, we are going to have a better energy to reconcile, to reconnect, to find a way to mm, to make new agreements, because this full moon is asking us to revisit our agreements in order to coexist in relationships, in any kind of relationships, but also as a society. And we also have to observe what is happening here with Jupiter and Saturn, because they are part of all this chart. Jupiter is the one that is in a very good position, and is the one that is connecting us with this sense of caring, protecting, and feeling like we have a home or a sacred space to go and recharge and reconnect. And it's applying to a trine with Saturn in Pisces. So this is about protection, and this is about boundaries. How we can mm, create or talk about new boundaries in order to protect us as individuals, but also as a group, or even as a couple or as a partner. What or which are those things that we need to revisit and to update in order relationships can start working again? This is about recognizing that we need to protect what is vulnerable. We need to create safe spaces inside our relationships in order to feel safe, to feel contained by and structure. And the structure is, I'm not talking about the material structure. I'm talking about the rules we use in any relationship in order to protect us and in order to thrive. And when I talk about rules, we're talking about rules here in a sign that is very connected with the emotions and the empathy, and also the need and the desire to help others. And with this kind of full moon, this desire of helping others sometimes can work against us. So the message here in this trine is, don't forget to protect what is important to you, so you don't get attacked or used again. And this is not something you use to harm others. This is something you use to protect not only yourself, but the other people involved in this important equation. In this case, your partner, your colleague, your neighbor. There is something that needs to be restructured. We are talking about a retrograde Saturn. And again, we have this Jupiter squaring Chiron in Aries. So this is about healing. We need to heal that wound, that original wound that makes us feel so vulnerable and so reactive and so angry sometimes. And this Jupiter is going to help us feel better and learn about the experience we had. Remember, we use Jupiter for describing the sense and the knowledge we get from experiences, and this is about how to feel safe again in our own skin, in our own relationship, in how to feel safe in the environment we are living in. And I want to share with you the chart of the full moon, the new moon, sorry, the new moon in Aries. This is a chart which was also a total solar eclipse at 19 degrees of Aries. See here how Chiron is an important part of the equation. He was eclipsed too. So this was a very painful situation. Very like I think about an athlete that had an important injury and couldn't keep doing their work, and how that affected the self perception, and how that affected also the way this person behave and treat all people around. And observe also, we had Mars in Pisces, not her favorites, not its favorite sign, in conjunction with Saturn. This is very frustrating. This is like crashing into a wall, like swimming into a very big, tall iceberg. This was very strong. This was very restrictive. So, this was a moment of our life that felt frustrating. Like we couldn't keep moving forward. And that made us angry, resentful, irritated, or maybe constrained by something that felt unfair. And observe that we have a Venus in Aries. This is a very competitive Venus. This is the planet that talks about relationships and trying to seek harmony and balance, but was in Aries, so it was in some way active, a little angry, or maybe too driven by desire and not trying to see the other people perspective. So this was a moment that we were very focused in ourselves, like this is happening to me and I feel angry about this, and I'm not observing what is happening to others. So something I want you to take from this cycle is remembering that these events are not only happening to you, it's happening to all of us. So everybody's overcoming some difficult times. And we need to be more kind with each other. Even right now, when the anger or resentment or the need to revenge is so strong, we need to pause ourselves a minute and think where we want to go and what we value right now, what is important right now. It is a moment to recalibrate priorities and goals everyone has everyone have in their relationships. So from this revelation you had with this full moon in Aries, you can decide how to design the dynamic in your most important relationships. So let's start with the rising signs. How every sign is going to experience this lunar event. Let's start interpreting this full moon for every rising sign. I'm going to work for pairs, for axes, starting with Aries and Libra. So, this full moon for Aries is very important because it is the full moon of the year for your sign. It is connected to a very important eclipse, total solar eclipse on Aries. So, this is a process. This has been a cycle of reinventing, renewal, updating yourself, a major change for yourself. And it could have been connected to something about your health, maybe an illness, an injury, an accident, something that made you feel weak and you have to work on recovering. And right now, you could see how after everything you overcome you have to pay maybe the bills for the physician or the doctor or any kind of therapist. This also could be that you were held by somebody who took care of you all this month and maybe was supporting you economically, and now you are focused on paying or retributing the money these important people or this important person gave you. For others, this could be something about the dynamic of the relationship. Maybe it wasn't about something of illness or injuries. This could be something about changing things that you thought were a very integral part of yourself. Maybe you noticed that you had to adjust something or or work on yourself in order to be better in relationships, but you were focused on yourself, and now you see the result of this enormous transformation you had in the last 18 months, and you see if this new person you are right now is aligned with the person around. Maybe you change in one direction and your partner is in other direction, and you notice now that you have to recalibrate or make a change as a couple. This also could be manifesting in a professional relationship with clients, providers, colleagues. Let's think about you deciding to build your personal brand. And this started last year on April, and you have to start from scratch and to build this brand, to build your presence. And now you see the kind of clients you are attracting, the kind of people who's working with you, and you see if this is the what you wanted. Maybe you have to focus in what the other person needs, the client wants, because you were so focusing yourself that you forgot to pay attention to the other people needs. And this is also important in personal relationships. If you were so focused on yourself, you might have mistreated or maybe you didn't pay attention to the needs or whatever the other person important in your life was doing for you. So this is a time to have difficult conversations. It could be conversation about money, other people's money, and how to retribute or pay what you owe. This could be difficult conversations about the future expectations and how difficult this process has been for the people involved. And this also could be something about the value of the projects, services, or things you are doing to others and offer and selling to others. And if the other person is able to pay what you want. For Libra risings. So if this is so important for the other people, you are watching now the result of this other person involved, this Aries energy person in your life. You are watching what this person have done in the last 18 months, and now is the moment to have the conversation. Okay, how are you going to pay me the money I lend you? How are you going to re, to be responsible of your part of economy right now that you are feeling better, you are in a better shape? So I need us to balance again the administration of our resources. Or how painful this process has been to me or to you, the Libra rising. And now is the moment to talk about this situation that was difficult for you. This is about money. There is an important accumulation of energy in the Scorpio part of your chart, which is the part of the chart that talks about resources, and money is an important one, but also we are talking about talent, time, attention. So this is the time you collect. Like, well, you owe me, now I want something back. And this could be the money the other person has to pay to you, or maybe this is in attention, or maybe this is another kind of resource you need from these other important people in your life. And this is going to put you in a difficult conversation. We have a Mercury Pluto here in square, so this is about having to go deep, to talk about the emotions behind the money decisions, or the underlying theme that is not so obvious for everyone in how you are administrating money with your partner, for instance. And yes, basically that's it. So for Libra risings right now, you are feeling a little unseen, like not very much appreciated, like the other person haven't been grateful enough with you, or maybe wasn't able to see what you were doing for he or she. And now you are trying to recover some kind of value for yourself, like you need to rest, or you need to take space for yourself. Maybe you need a moment of solitude, and not having this conversation right now with this person because you are not in your best shape. We are having a Venus in Virgo. It's not the best place for Venus, just met with the South Node. So this is sense of losing something, or being debilitated, or being exhausted. And in a few days, Venus is going to enter Libra, which is your rising sign. And this is a good news for you, because this is the moment you feel like yourself again. You feel beautiful, or valuable, or balanced again, and in a better mood to try to connect again. So in the full moon, in the specific days we have this energy, this is not the moment you manage to have a reconciliation, or a successful conversation. This is the moment you become aware of the situation. It's so obvious to you that you are not feeling well in the relationship, that you need to do something. But first you need to rest, or to reflect, or to have a time alone to think about the next step. And a few days, when you have this Venus in Libra, you are going to feel better, and more connected to yourself and your identity, and able to ask for what you need. So for the Tauro Scorpio risings, let's start with Taurus. We have the full moon in your 12th house. So this is a very secret space for yourself. This is something that was happening and building in private. So this could be a process of recovering or recharging for yourself. Maybe you were going through some difficult times about um, uh, mental health or emotional health, like you were dealing with a lot of intense feelings in the last 18 months, and maybe you even were aware of the situation, like feeling irritated, feeling frustrated, but not being able to understand why. And now with this full moon, you notice the reason. And we have the full moon in Aries in your 12th house, but remember, we have the sun in Libra in your 6th house, which is the activities you do on a daily basis, your routines, your habits. So this is connected. Your life quality depends on the things you do for feeling better, the way you treat yourself, the way you nurture yourself, but also the way you listen to your body, and honor what your body needs. So this could be the moment you recognize you being frustrated because there was a relationship that wasn't working for you, and you were not able to ask for what you needed. You are also a sign ruled by Venus, and this is a Venus that is in the fifth house. In Virgo, the fifth house is connected to kids, your children's in general, pleasure, romance, affairs, the things you do for fun, the things you do for reconnecting with your life, with the pleasure of being alive. And this Venus here is exhausted, it's not having fun, it's not enjoying life. And this could be something connected with a partner. We have Mars in Scorpio, and maybe you were resentful or angry with your partner because you were not having a fulfilling life together. Or maybe this is about your children, something is happening with the children, and this made you resentful, and now you need to have an important conversation with your partner, with your spouse, with someone important in your life. because we have Mars in Scorpio. So we have a tension, we have a lot of energy accumulating in Scorpio part of your chart. So there's another person in your life that is the main character of the situation. Maybe it's the person where you are projecting your frustration, and it's important to have a conversation here. Another scenario I can think of this full moon for Taurus rising is something connected with your professional life. This is about a colleague or someone with power at work, and maybe you are exhausted. Maybe your frustration or anger is that you are exhausted because you have to work a lot. Maybe you had to do extra hours for so many months. It's been 18 months of going the extra mile, and now you're exhausted. You need to reconnect with things that gives you pleasure and joy, and you need time for yourself. And now it's the moment to have an important conversation with your boss or with your colleague or with your professional partner in order to recover balance, because you need to rest and to have time for yourself to connect again with the joy of life. For Scorpio risings. So if we are seeing these other Taurus having this thing about the frustration but uncover, for you, my beautiful Scorpio, this full moon is enlightening your sixth house of daily basis habits, routines, the things you do every day at work, for instance, all the activities you have to perform every day so life keeps moving. The relationship you also have with your the people who works for you. If you have a team and you are the leader, this full moon could be talking about this kind of relationship. So for you, this full moon is showing that something took a lot of energy from you in the sixth house. This talks about 18 months of having to work a lot, maybe to do several things at the same time, like too many responsibilities on daily basis. And remember, we had a brief a short visit from Saturn to your Aries part of your chart. So this felt like stress, too much responsibilities, a lot of things to organize on daily basis, and maybe that took a toll on you. And now you see that maybe you are stressed, maybe you have high blood pressure, because we have things happening in Aries, and this is an energy connected to the head, to blood, to blood pressure. So maybe your body is telling you to slow down a little bit, because the last 18 months has been so fast for you or so demanding for you. This also could be the moment you notice that things has to change in your in the people, or with the people who's working for you. Maybe there is somebody in your team that wasn't performing the way you wanted. And we are having here an important conversation about seeking the truth, or about investigating about something important. And you are the leading person here. You are the one who's looking for deep information, and this information might be difficult to digest. Maybe this is something about somebody working in your company that were not doing the best they could. We have here a Kiran in the sixth house, so this could be an employer who has not been honest, and now you discover this information. We have the sun on your 12th house, the house of hidden enemies. And when the sun is here and the moon is here, something can come up, and could be something that is not pleasant, or maybe it wasn't a bad intention, but maybe this is the moment you discover that something was not working properly. Even this could be something about your kind of leadership, like people were not telling you that they didn't like the way you were doing things, and now you become aware of this and you have to listen some uncomfortable truths. So for Gemini risings, this full moon is happening in your 11th house of friendships, about teamwork, about hopes and future too. So this full moon here is talking about a process, a long process that might have been happening to a friend. Remember that these events are not only happening to you, are happening to people in your life, and sometimes it's not affecting you directly, but you are observing how this manifests in the important relationships around you. So this could be something with a friend that has been working on something important in the last 18 months, and now you see the result. This also could be something connected to competitive activities. So if you work, for instance, in a sales department, this is the moment you see if your group, your team reach the goals. This is a moment of balance to see, well, we sell this amount, we need to adjust here and see how much more we need to do before the year ends. Or this also could be something connected to sports. If you practice any sport and you practice something that is connected to groups, maybe this is the moment you see the result of your practice. Maybe this is the moment you have a competition. You were preparing the last 18 months for this competition, and now you see the final event and you notice how good it was for you, how well prepared you were for this moment. And we have Mars and Mercury and Lilith in your 6th house. So this could be the moment you notice that you have to make adjustments for another competition. It's like, well, you had this competition, you didn't win, or you didn't get the results you expected, and now you make decisions of how to train yourself in a long term in order to get better results for another moment of your life. And we have Uranus in your rising sign, and it's making a trine with Pluto. So this is very important for you. You are having a long-term energy here, a long-term or a slow transformation that is very important. This is a lot of, this is intense energy for the body. So be careful with your energy. Please treat yourself with love and care. Don't demand so much of your energy, because you are having the influence of the bigger planets. So this could take a toll on your health. So take care of your food, take care of your time for sleep, your sleeping time, take care of the activities you do every day. Try to listen to all the needs your body have in order to use this on your favor, and don't let the stress pass you by. And for the Sagittarius rising, this full moon is happening on your 5th house, the house of children, creativity, fertility, joy, pleasures, vacations. So this is the moment that you might be enjoying a free time, or the moment you are seeing something important that was building up these last 18 months about a son, a children. Maybe you have children and something that you didn't expect it come up. Because remember, this started with this strong eclipse, something that was debilitating for this person. It could also be a lover, because this is a lover house. So a lover, a children, yes, somebody like this had an important process in the last 18 months, and now this comes to the surface, and you get an information you didn't have, or a conversation, a difficult conversation about this process. This could be connected to money. Like, for instance, Your children needs help from you. They were struggling with something, and they need economical support from you. This also could be like maybe you have been spending too much money with a lover, and now you want something back. It's like you being the one that pays for all the fun parts of the relationship. I'm not talking about the serious relationship you have with a steady partner. I'm talking about a lover, someone who maybe you have been dating in the last months, and maybe you notice that you have been paying for everything, or maybe you are being so generous with this other person, and the other person is not giving the same. So this could be a moment of having a difficult conversation, or maybe addressing some underlying themes that were affecting your relationship with your children or with your lover. For others, this is the moment you see the completion of a project. And because this is happening in your fifth house and also illuminating your 11th house. And this could be the moment you see the results of something you were working on the last 18 months. And maybe you notice that the didn't come up as you expected. You have Jupiter transiting your 8th house. And with this full moon, maybe you notice that you need more money for making better this project, or with this result you obtain with this project that you made in the last 18 months, you are ready to ask for investors to put money in this project to make it bigger, or to scale it, or improve it in some way. And there is a lot happening in your 12th house. Mercury, Mars, and Lilith are affecting or having influence in your 12th house. This is a lot of energy in the private sector. So if this is about a project, you are going to be working a lot in private, like developing your project like extra time in order to improve it. Or maybe if this is something about a relationship with children, maybe this is going to move intense feelings, and you are going to need some time to cope with this. Or maybe you are going to need a therapy sessions to talk about difficult things that are happening with your children, or with your lover. Sometimes are underlying things that are affecting your love life. This also could be happening here. For the Cancer risings, this full moon is happening in your 10th house of profession, about these ambitions, and also the status, and also the relationship with your mother, and authority. So this is enlightening your house, also your fourth house, which is the house that represents family, the parents, the father, also properties. So there are different scenarios I can come up. First one, the thing about job. If you work in real estate or something that is linked to building homes, or building structures, and now this is the moment you see the completion of a goal, the completion of a project, something that was very important, that required leadership skills, something that started, remember, last year on April, and requires like something very new, like updating the way you work. Maybe this is something that has started with a leadership change at your company, and now you see the results of the new leadership and how this affected the performance of you and the whole company. And if this is something about real estate and properties, you are going to see your focus on the money that comes from selling those properties. This is also something that could be related to selling or buying homes. Maybe you were working on I don't know, you were trying to buy your new home, a new home, or you were trying to sell your home. And with this full moon, you see the result. Maybe you had to lower the price in order to fulfill this goal. And now you see how and now you obtain the money and see if this is what you expected or not. I'm talking about this because the fifth house is the second of the fourth, is the money we get from our properties. So we see that maybe you have to lower something, or maybe you have um, to accept some conditions that were not the most wanted for you, but you are getting something good with this full moon. For other Cancer risings, this is about family. This is about important goals in the personal life, specifically with family, like working for making the family bigger, or maybe you were this could connect professional and family life. Like you were working for having a better position at work, for having more money, and being able to invest that money in your family. Because we have here the sun in the fourth house and this amount of energy on the Scorpio part of your chart that could be connected with your children. So maybe you were working on your fertility because you want to be a mother or a parent, and you were buying a new house because you want to make your family grow, or you were working on having a better income so you can make your family life better, your children's life better. This is a connection of profession, family life, and creativity, children, fertility. So for those Cancer risings that wants to have kids, this is a very fertile moment. Not right now with this full moon in Aries, but we are going to a very fertile moment when this Mars in Scorpio make the trine with Jupiter. It might be something to work on, could be something, maybe a treatment you have to do for fertility. There could be some restrictions, or maybe you need to plan better the best moment for you in order to have kids, but there is an opportunity for you and for your fertility. This is, you are having the visit of Jupiter, and this is making you very, very, very fertile. So use this energy on your favor if this is what you want. For Capricorn risings, this full moon is happening in your fourth house, connecting the fourth and the 10th house. The moon in Aries is putting the attention on the family life. And we had for a couple of months the visit of Saturn. Saturn is your ruler. So you have been putting your attention in family matters. Saturn right now is retrograde and revisiting Pisces. So this full moon is connecting with themes or the relationship you have with your siblings and your more close family. Maybe you have been taking care of your mother the last few months. We are seeing things happening in your 10th and in your fourth house, and now you need to talk with your siblings to balance the responsibilities. Maybe you need more support from your siblings in order to take care of your family members. This could be somebody that's being sick at home, and you have been taking care of this person, and now you need some kind of help or support from others. And that's the balance you need to recover. And maybe there is somebody in your family, or maybe your spouse or some partner have been very generous with you, trying to help you, but you need support from other people in your family in order to recover the harmony or the balance you lost. This also could be something connected to building homes. You're represented by Saturn, and Saturn loves to build things that last for a long, long time. So maybe you work at building different kind of structures, and you've been working on building a complex, a building, whatever. You've been working on shaping something in the last 18 months. It was a process, a difficult process with delays, and now you see the result. And maybe it's not as good as you expected, but you now know what you can work with. We have Mercury, Mars, and Lilith in your 11th house, or so there's a lot here about the groups you work with. Maybe you might get help from people from like you. Maybe you are in Latin America. We have like the architects group, the engineers group, and they give support to colleagues with information or with contacts or with different kind of connections and different kind of help that made the professionals keep moving. Maybe they can find you the materials you need to end this project, to be able to sell it, for instance. So the connection with your groups or the people you know could be the ones that help you. You are going to have a trine between Mars and Saturn in a few weeks, and this could be the moment to move forward. Maybe you had something that limits the progress of your project, of your building, or of the construction process, and this is going to be the moment that you move forward. Like they give you the permit you needed, or maybe somebody gives you the help you needed. It's going to be some rules to get this moving, but you are going to get some kind of support. For the Leo risings, we are having this full moon. You are having this full moon in your ninth house. And this is a house that connects you with other cultures, with other languages. This is the house that connects you with astrology, with philosophy, with religion. This is the house that connects you also with legal affairs. So this could be the moment of the year that you get an important information, a result of a legal process that you've been dealing with the last 18 months. It has been a very stressful process, and now you have the result, the final conversation, the agreement, or maybe you notice that there is somebody in this situation that is not very open to negotiate, and now you have to take this in another direction. And this is also something that is connected with travel. Maybe this is the moment of the year that you notice, or you are completing something related to a journey you planned. Maybe you were working for the last 18 months, saving money to buy the tickets for this travel, or maybe you were trying to participate in an important course or conference, and now you have the answer. Now you have the result of all that effort you made in the last 18 months. This also could be a travel that has the goal of visiting your family, because we have the connection of traveling, moving, and Mars is in your fourth house, and also Mercury and also Lilith in your fourth house. So this could be a journey you are making to revisit your hometown or to see some family members, or maybe you were moving and now you have everything set for you receiving your family. I'm talking about moving, because when we are moving, we need to prepare some legal documents like contracts, and we need to define we need to sign some contracts with some rules. And we also see activity in our third house of movement. And here we see all this energy of Mars, Mercury, and Lilith activating your fourth house of home and family. And this might be something connected with moving to a new home or traveling to see your hometown. And for Aquarius rising, this full moon is happening on your third house of communication, learning, teaching, the relationship you have with siblings, the relationship you have with your neighbors, with your colleagues. And again, we have this thing that could be connected with moving, but also this could be something connected to legal affairs. Maybe you were going through something important that was linked to your work. Maybe you have to sue somebody at work, or maybe you were asking for a permit or trying to get a certificate. Maybe you were learning a new skill and now is the time you receive the certificate you need, and this opens new paths or opportunities in your professional career. This is open maybe a new position for you at work, for instance. Now you receive the certificate you wanted. Now you know you have this new skill, so you are ready to go further in your professional life. And this has been for you a challenging process because you have Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. You have Uranus talking with this Pluto. Uranus is your modern ruler. Saturn is your traditional ruler, and he is also a very important part of the configuration of this full moon. So this has been a very difficult, challenging process for you. No matter if that was a legal process or a family-related process, like moving and reconnected with family, or something that you were learning or teaching, this was very intense for you, changed you in a profound way, made you connect with your leadership skills. Maybe maybe in the process you became rigid, like too demanding, because we had Saturn in Aries for a few weeks or months, and that makes you very like too aggressive when you interact with others. Like maybe you were so stressed or irritated or frustrated with everything that was happening in your life that you didn't notice that you were communicating in a rude manner, and that eroded your close relationships. And maybe you are now getting new opportunities, but ask yourself at what cost. And now we are going to see the full moon for Virgo risings. For Virgo risings, this full moon is happening in the eighth house of other people's money. This is the house that talks about your debts, the money you have to pay to the bank, to the state, like taxes. Also, and this also talks about the money you received from others, like inheritance. So this is the moment you see the current state of your finances. And this moon is in your eighth house, but remember the sun is in your second house of your income. So this is the moment you see if you if you have bigger debts than income, and this is the time you need to recalibrate. You need to restructure your budget. Maybe this is the moment you notice that that you need to ask for other people to help you with money, or you have to stop helping other people with money, and that's why you are not in a good shape economically. This shows that You've been in a rough path lately because we had the eclipses here in Virgo Pisces axis. Recently, we have a partial eclipse, solar eclipse in Virgo at 29 degrees of Virgo. So maybe you are being changing or trying to make changes, personal changes, and you need economical support from others. It could be something connected with your self-esteem, or maybe something connected with trying to upgrade your personal brand for attracting different clients and getting much more money. This is connected of the money you receive or the value you receive from others, and and how they perceive your value, so they are able to pay for your services. You are something who loves to be useful for others, who works for giving a very good quality products and services, and everything you do it with this focus on being efficient. But maybe you are not being good enough communicating the value you give to others, and other people are not paying enough for what you are offering. This is a moment you should check the value you put not only to your work, but to yourself. I'm talking about value because we have a Venus in Virgo in your first house. She recently had a connection with a conjunction with the South Node. So this is something about feeling like you are losing something, or maybe you don't feel valuable enough, or maybe you are being so demanding with yourself, and now you have to lower your expectations, or lowering the demands you have on yourself, and don't be so perfect, so focused on perfection, and that will help you get better payment from others. We have a lot of energy in your third house of communication. So you need to be more assertive when you talk with others. You need to be more strategic. So this could be an excellent moment for you to think about your marketing strategy, how to communicate the value of your work in order to attract better clients, and they could start paying you better for what you are offering. And for Pisces rising, this full moon is happening in the second house. It's also connected with money, but now it's connected to your money. So maybe what you've been doing is not giving you the best result. And this is something that is putting your attention on the way you administrate your resources, not only money, your time, your attention, your talents. Maybe you are not being paying attention in what is very or most important for you. This could be the moment you have to realign or recalibrate your priorities. With this full moon, you become aware of the current state of your accounts, and you have to administrate better what you have. Maybe you have to start using your talents in order to produce more money. And we see a focus of or opportunities that could be opening for you connected with talents, because we have Jupiter in Cancer, and that puts you in a good place. Cancer for you is the fifth house of the things you do for fun, for pleasure, and is connected to creativity. Maybe you have to use better your talents, to teach, to share what you know how to do. And even when I say sharing, is teaching about the things that you can do easily, and this could make you connect with audiences from other cultures. We have Mercury and Mars and Lilith in your ninth house of other culture, philosophies, other countries, other languages, and maybe you can attract people from from abroad that is able to pay what you can make. This is very connected with the money you are able to produce, and maybe you can get money from teaching another language. Maybe you can get better money or more money about investigating. We have a Mercury in Scorpio that is interested in learning more or teaching more about magic, about psychology, about astrology, about the hidden knowledge of different cultures. So maybe this is a moment to investigate, and you can get some payments, or maybe you can start working at a university or at an institution that pays you for investigating something, investigating a theme that is very interesting to you, that is connected with your passions. And this is also the moment you can be thinking about planning a journey, a travel, a vacation. We have Jupiter in the fifth house and Mercury, Mars, and Lilith in your ninth house. That could be something that is about a travel you want to make. Maybe you were trying to save money to travel for this time of the year, and you notice that maybe you don't have enough money, or you have to adjust the budget, and in some case you have to balance your expectations because the money is not as much as you wanted, or maybe the journey, the travel, the vacation is more expensive that you expected. Maybe you already have the money, but you have to pay a big amount of it in order to have this pleasure you've been working on or working for the last 18 months. So I hope this information is useful for all of you. Please remember my last recommendations for this full moon, general recommendations. This energy needs movement. So if you are feeling frustrated, irritated, maybe you are in a conflicted mode, like you want to fight with everybody because you think that things are not happening the way you want, please go outside and run, maybe dance, try to do something fun, something that requires a lot of body energy, like sweat a lot, because this is energy that has building up inside of you for a long time and now needs a constructive way of expression. So move your body before you cut head off, before you start screaming to people around you, because you don't want to destroy your relationships or the bridges you have around. Maybe you just need a pause, and maybe you just need a time to hit yourself. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope this is something useful for you. Thank you, Nadiya, for inviting me here. Bye bye.